All right, y'all, we're back. Finally back in the studio. Another episode of Let's Talk Fish. And Thrift took off, left us, went to the beach. But we do have a special guest. A lot of you have already figured out who it was. My pictures may or may not have given that away. But first and foremost, big shout out to Angler's Choice Marine. They are the presenting sponsor of our show. Angler's Choice Marine, y'all know, have 3 locations: Lexington, North Carolina, Martinsville, Virginia, and Spindale, North Carolina. They are a big White River Marine dealer. They were the #1 Ranger dealer, #2 Triton dealer in the nation last year. Continue to produce awesome numbers in sales, and after the sale, they take good care of the customers too. So go check them out if you're in the market for a new boat. I think they still got a bunch of really, really good deals going on their 2023s they have left. There's some big rebates on the 2024s, but also something I saw on their social media today is if you're in the market for a good ATV, the Tracker off-road stuff, which I have one at my house, but the Tracker off-road stuff that they have right now, the 2023 models, which is only a handful of them, they've got like $6,000 to $8,000 in savings off those things right now, and they're only $12,000 to $18,000 retail. So you can save huge money on one of the Tracker off-road vehicles right now. So go check them out if you're in the market for one. But let's get to the show. Don't forget, we do have a trivia question at the end of the show, and the giveaway tonight is for our Angler's Choice heavy-duty weigh-in bag, Angler's Choice hat, some goodies like that. But y'all stay tuned to the end of the show. All right, let's get over to our special guest. I know everybody's wanting to see him. Any guesses who our special guest is that people already know?
I think everybody knows.
Yeah, you think everybody knows, Tyler?
Yeah, just bring it.
So we do have on him himself, Mr. Matt Robertson, in the house joining us tonight. Matt, we appreciate you coming, man.
Yeah, man, it's good to be here with you. I was hoping Brian would be here, give him a little crap. I ain't got to be around him a lot.
You ain't missing much.
Yeah, I'd probably miss him anyways. He's pretty short. So, but yeah, happy to be here with y'all.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, man. But we got a lot to talk about. I do want to jump in real quick, let y'all know any questions you have for Matt. And he said shoot from the hip. He said let it ride, let it go. He's willing to answer anything and everything tonight on Let's Talk Fish. Not that he hadn't done that in the past on other podcasts.
Yeah, anything and everything. Just beware that you're going to get the truth. So
do we need to put a warning label for kids and things like that out there?
No, I think we can keep it PG, but I don't know. You may want to have your hands handy to cover your kids' ears just in case.
Earmuffs.
Yeah.
Earmuffs. Here's your warning. All right,
you're the censor, not us.
Yeah, that's right. You've had your warning. You've had your fair warning. But all right, let's jump right into it. So first off, everybody knows Matt. Obviously, if you don't follow professional bass fishing. Matt joined the Elite Series 4 years ago.
Yeah.
This is his 4th season. Matt is a heck of a fisherman. I haven't gotten to know Matt as well as I've liked, but now he lives part of the time in the great state of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Right down the road.
I'm here half the time, probably 40 minutes from here, and so I'll be out here taking some of him and Brian's money this year and for now on, probably.
Yeah, you got to come down to Moss and fish some of them little derbies with us?
Yeah, I'm going to slide down to Moss, and you might as well just build me a crown because you're looking at the new king.
I tell you what, if you come down and fish against us at Moss, let's just say we fish 5 tournaments against each other. No, you know what? I got a better idea because I swear I saw somebody make a post the other day on social media that said Bryan Thrift found a new partner in Brian New to go fish the Moss Lake Thursday Nighters. And what was my comment? You remember what my comment was? Well, you liked it or responded to it. I said, well, don't make me call on them and come whip y'all like some redheaded stepchildren. So I think what we need to do is just let Thrift pick a new partner and you and I team up.
Yeah, go ahead, pick a new partner. We'll make both of you call us daddy. So
that's what I'm talking about. Guys, we got questions rolling in already, Matt. But I got a couple questions for Matt to kick it off, and then I'll let y'all take over. I'll let y'all shoot some questions at us. But we've done all the tournament updates and things that we wanted to do over the last episode. Let me back up just a second. We do have one tournament update. Matt is fresh off a solid finish at the MLF Invitational at Lake St. Clair, and real quick. Obviously, y'all absolutely trashed them up there.
Yeah.
The open guys trashed them. I knew it was going to be a slugfest. You knew it was going to be a slugfest. But tell us a little bit about that tournament.
Yeah, man, we didn't have nothing going on, and so me and Corey decided to slide up there and hop in the MLF Invitational. And, yeah, dude, it's a slugfest like usual. They caught them big. Man, there's all kinds of smallmouth swimming through there. And I have to tell you, dude, like you hear this bass MLF talking everything. And I got to give it to MLF and the Invitationals. Dude, they put on a hell of a tournament. And dude, I'm telling you, solid, good run tournament. I've seen a lot of things that I liked over there. One of the things I liked, you know how we do bass track?
Yeah.
So in the Invitationals.
Well, you mean how we're supposed to do bass track?
How we're supposed to do bass track. They give us incentives to do bass track. But over in the Invitationals, they give you one of those Bubba scales, and it's the first time I've ever used one.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So they give you a Bubba scale, and you are required, before you put a fish in the live well, to weigh it on the Bubba scale. And the thing about those scales are, they're live and Bluetooth, so like they automatically get the weight of the fish back in there.
The real weight.
The real weight of the
Unless
fish.
you're pulling on it or something that, I guess.
Exactly.
Or pushing up on it.
Exactly. And I thought that, like, listen, I know a lot of fishermen don't care, but I think it's good for viewership, like for people to be able to keep up with the anglers that they like, because half the guys don't use bass track. And if you're required to do it before it goes in the live well, I mean, you're faced with a fine if you don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
$500 fine if you don't. And I think, I just think that's one aspect that I really liked of it.
That's one thing that I've never not done. I've always entered my catch in bass track at Bassmaster, and I do it out of respect for the fans, my family, etc. Now, yes, I'm a little light. I'm not 5 to 7 pounds light.
Yeah. Patrick Walters worse. 19 pounds.
No. Wait a minute. He's bad. But there's one person I feel like's worse than him.
Who's that?
Hackney.
Hackney's pretty bad too. Yeah, if he's got 16 pounds on bass track, he'll have 22. Those two right there, absolute worst, and you ain't got to. That kind of eliminates that issue.
Yeah, and why enter them if you're going to be that far that far off?
And with any other sport, like you see a real time score. Basketball, you know the score.
Yep.
Baseball, you know the score. So I got to tell you, all the way around, everybody's cool over there. The anglers were cool. A lot of people know in bass fishing, a lot of drama going on. No drama over there with that stuff. All the anglers I talked to at the hotel on the water, everybody's cool, getting along, and there's a lot of things I really liked about it.
Yeah, that's you and I were talking about that before the show, and I'll be honest, there's some people over there. Kathy Fennell was one that I named. Dave Washburn, some of the old guard from the original FLW days are some of the best people I've ever met in my life, and they do run a good circuit. And Kathy Fennell is somebody who I've always. Bill Taylor, he was tournament director when we were there. He was a great tournament director, and anyway, I always had a lot of respect for that crew. But I mean, that's good to hear that things are running smoothly and they're putting on a good show over there. So, what was your weight? You finished 44th, right?
Yeah. I had
over 40 pounds.
Yeah, the first day I only had like 37 pounds. First day I caught 20 pounds. Next day I only caught like 18, close to 18. So I had right under 38 pounds.
Okay. So 19 a day basically to get a check.
Yeah, 19 a day to get a check. And that's what we were guessing. You know, the Opens guys, they went out of St. Clair and we went out of down by Lake Erie in Detroit.
Elizabeth Park?
Yeah, Elizabeth Park. So we had an hour run, and kind of thought, we talked about it before the tournament, so we kind of thought the weights might go down because of that, because you're taking away hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fishing, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even know y'all went out of Elizabeth Park.
Yeah.
I noticed the weights are a little bit lower, but that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And it probably Erie probably sucked a few more guys too, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Erie did. There's I'm not as many as I thought went to Lake Erie would go, but you still saw some good weights coming out of Lake Erie.
Now, somebody asked a question on here: was Canadian water off limits for y'all?
No, it wasn't off limits. We could fish Canadian water.
You just couldn't go to Huron.
Right, yeah, they cut off limits was the bridge before you get to Huron.
Got you. Okay. All right, let's jump into a few of my questions, and then I'll jump back into the feed for some questions from some of the fans and some of our viewers. But my first question is: are there only 2 mullets on the Elite Series? You and Fighter?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of another one. Like, there's some other guys growing some shag. Like, Kyle Welcher tries to be cool, but he's not.
That's not a mullet. Yeah, that's not a mullet.
That's not a mullet. No. That's a teenager not brushing his hair. But
we need a name. We need a term for that look.
Oh, God, that's raggedy.
Yeah. So who's got the better mullet, you or Fighter?
Oh, I do 100%.
Okay.
He knows it too.
Who's had it longer?
He's probably had it longer, but longer don't mean better quality. I mean, I can do.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You know, I started growing my hair out long for, I don't know, a little while there, but I didn't have the mullet. I couldn't cut this short and then leave this long. I got scared. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to do what y'all do. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, once you do it though, you won't go back.
Won't go back.
Yeah.
Once you mullet, you won't go back. Okay. All right, I got 2 more questions, and then we'll. No, I got 3 more questions, and then we'll jump back into the feed. But So I know you room with the Johnstons.
Yeah.
And Fighter.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a crew.
Yeah.
And then, who do you work with the closest on tour?
I definitely work with Fighter the closest. Like I love Chris and Corey, but you can't believe nothing they say. They're probably the 2 biggest liars.
Is it because they're Canadian?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you. I mean, I don't know. Coop, I'm pretty close with Coop. Like I'm pretty open with Coop, but
Coop seems like a pretty straight shooter.
Coop straight up. Like he'll be me and him. Like we ain't never had no problem telling each other the truth and everything. But yeah, Chris and Corey, not telling the truth.
I've never lied to you, by the way, just in case you're wondering.
I appreciate that.
But I've only encountered Matt. Let's see, I encountered you at Grand Lake during Classic practice. We were back of a creek. I think it was Duck Creek. And I was idling out of there, and I said, dude, you can go back there if you want, but it sucks. I didn't do no good. And I think your words were, if I catch you back here during the Classic, I'm going to body slam you or something. Like he kind of was thinking I might have been lying to him. I'm like, dude, I didn't get and I never went back there, obviously. But I don't even know if you did.
Tell me you didn't catch him back there and let me catch you back there in the tournament.
That's right. You talk about I'm not dumb enough. Look, I've been doing this a long time. I ain't dumb enough to do that. You know, tell somebody you ain't caught them back there and then show up there during the tournament.
There's a lot of them that are dumb enough to do it, though.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. There's a lot of guys that I trust on tour, but you can't talk but to so many, right?
Yeah,
I mean, really 1 to 2 two's a lot. 1's enough. And you need to have somebody that you can always lean on for ideas and just to confirm some of your suspicions too, right?
Yeah.
All right. What's your biggest regret since fishing the elites? Don't say you don't have any.
My biggest regret since fishing the elites. I don't know, man. I really don't have too many regrets. I really don't.
Okay, your 1 regret fishing the elites.
Probably not taking my clothes off enough. Like.
Enough.
I should have took my clothes off.
I know
a few
you might
more
have said
times.
maybe the time you took your clothes off.
No. Like I'll be honest with you. Like Bass got really mad. A lot of people got mad about that, but I don't care. I'd do it again. I'll be honest with you. Like, let me get a point knocked off, and we'll do it again.
People want to know how much that fine was.
It was hefty. It hurt the Trailer Park Boys pocketbook.
Enough said. All right.
I will tell you the next one's $10,000 if you want to know. So it was under 10.
Of the under 10 grand. So there you go. Of all the rookie class this year, you scared what I'm gonna ask next? You ain't never scared. You don't care.
Buddy, I gave him warning today. I gave him warning. I said, you ask me whatever you want, but just prepared. I'm in rare form, and I'm giving it to you like it is.
Of the rookie class this year, who's your favorite rookie?
The rookie, probably Kyle Patrick.
That's funny because he's
Kyle Patrick got on my nerves at first. I did not like him, and then he hung out with us a little bit, and I thought, all right, he's all right. But he always talked about fishing, always fishing. And then we was at the Classic hanging out, and we went to the casino with Murray's. We went to the casino as a night. Some people got kicked out of the casino.
I heard about that.
We was walking in. I put my arm around Kyle. I was like, Kyle, I like you, buddy. I said, but do you hear any of us talking about fishing here? He's like, oh, okay. I got you. Ever since then, he's cool as shit.
I like Kyle.
Yeah.
I really do. I haven't gotten to know him super well, but every interaction I've had with him, I gain more and more respect for the guy. Yeah. And, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt until you just absolutely act like a whatever, or you start breaking rules or doing whatever. But, we're pretty down to earth people for the most part. Pretty much everybody that fishes is. And unless you really kind of go down the wrong path, I don't have a problem with pretty much anybody. But do I need to ask you who your least favorite rookie is?
You can ask me.
I'm not going to ask you that.
I'll tell you.
I'm not going to ask you that. I'm not going to ask you that.
Y'all can guess and figure it out. It ain't rocket science.
I have 2 guesses, but I'm not even going to go there. All right, let's jump back into some questions up here. Some of them don't even make sense, so I can't even begin to ask them. But let's see. They want me to ask you about your math skills.
I know 2 + 2 is 5.
Perfect.
So.
Perfect. How many? So I actually saw a post. Jordan Lee addressed it, and it was by a guy who has some kind of. Actually, I've met this guy before. I can't think of his name right off the top, but he's got some kind of. Do you know what I'm talking about? He has a fishing tips page, and he made a post or a comment or a video about how. Now he didn't really clarify in the video, but I'm assuming what he said is what he meant.
Yeah.
That how pretty much all the pros get information out there.
Yeah. Okay.
And Jordan immediately said, that's 100% not true.
No, it is not true.
And I agreed. I got on Jordan. I don't typically comment on other pros' posts unless I have something funny to say or whatever. But I got on there and I said, 100% facts, Jordan. Like, we don't, like, you're not going to be a professional angler based off information.
Yeah, no.
You just can't be successful that way. But that being said, this question is, how many elites do you actually think are going over the gray area? Now, to me, that question is asking how many are playing the gray area without breaking a rule. So the gray area, we define that on this show, and let me tell you my definition of gray. My definition of gray is taking advantage of a rule, meaning trying to give yourself an edge when you know your other elites probably aren't even going to dip that far into the pot to take the risk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the question goes back to kind of Jordan's post. How many elites do you actually think try to really push the envelope, potentially breaking a rule in the process?
I think so. How many actually try to live in the gray area? I think 20%.
Okay.
Like I don't know. Like the more and more I see stuff come out. Like I saw a video this week. Like the more stuff I see, I'm like, dude, I wouldn't even have thought to do that. And I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I've read the rule book and everything, but I don't remember half of what I read. Like.
Well, and Swindle had a good post the other week. Did you see his post about reading the rule book? He said, I talked about this on the show, so we won't dive too far into it. But his post, I'm telling you, because his post said, he said, I got a question for everybody out there. And because he gets a ton of engagement.
If you didn't read the rule book, then technically you don't know you broke the rule. Is that what it was?
If you didn't read the rule book, would you pass a polygraph?
100%. Listen, I've taken a lot of polygraphs. I've won 6 or 7 boats, a lot of tournaments. Like I've taken 13, 14 polygraphs. And like 1,000%, if you didn't know the rule, and you could pass a polygraph. Okay. Like I'm telling you right now, you could pass. I won a USA Bass and Big Bass tournament on Kentucky Lake, and a guy from this cop from Murray was doing the polygraph, and we sat down, and he was like, all right, I want you to tell the truth on the odd number questions and lie on the even number. I was like, okay. And so I did that, and he got mad at me. He's like, I told you to lie on the even numbers. I was like, dude, I am lying to you. Like, he got mad. He's getting mad at me because he said I wasn't lying. Yeah, he's trying to get a read for me. I was like, dude, I can't help it. If your polygraph can't tell if I'm lying or not. Like, I'm sitting here, like, that's just what happened.
Yeah.
And like 1,000% that could happen.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. Like, I'm like, why not?
And I'll be honest with you. Whenever it comes to you hear about people getting polygraphed, anglers getting polygraphed. Like, well, what's the question? All right, you're telling us they got polygraphed. Tell us what the questions are, though.
Yeah, tell us how the questions were structured.
And
you know, I watched
everything matters.
I watched that episode that Zaldane did because I was so interested to hear the polygraph examiner from MLF.
Yeah.
And I've taken several polygraphs. You've taken probably more than I have, and I don't ever think I've taken a real one, to be honest with you. A straight up real one that you would get drilled with at the jailhouse or in a court of law or whatever. Not in a court of law, but like in a by a legit polygraph examiner. Because based on what this guy said, like, if you're in there for 20, 30 minutes, you didn't take a real polygraph.
Yeah, so a real polygraph, you're supposed to be pretty much secluded, soundproof room. You like because,
no outside sounds.
You can't have no outside sound because if you're sitting there and they're asking you a question and you hear something over here, well, then that deters something.
Zero distractions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a distraction. But like, there's a few that I feel like you're talking about, like it was. But there's this guy out of Nashville. He gives a pretty legit polygraph.
Okay. Now, is he one that you've taken with in Kentucky or through Bass?
I've done in. No, I haven't taken one with him with Bass, but I've taken him in Kentucky and Tennessee, and yeah, he's a black guy out of Nashville. Like, he's pretty thorough.
He's legit, pretty good. KJ Queen has a mullet. Kenny C just said. I forgot about KJ.
KJ cut his. He's
did he?
cut
Okay.
now.
He's out. He gave up.
KJ's cool, but he's clean cut now.
All right. Everybody, I'm getting some comments about the Derby Boys episode. I got to go home and watch it. I haven't watched the first episode yet. I'm definitely going to watch it. But everybody wants to know when the next one's coming out.
The next one was supposed to come out this past Sunday, and had some technical difficulties on getting the footage from our camera guy to me to be able to post, and we're getting that sorted out. So hopefully this Sunday.
All right.
I'm hoping this Sunday.
Hoping this coming Sunday, so 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
First day of our Champlain practice.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be good. That's a good time. This guy said come up to fish the Ohio River so he can take your money.
Ain't none of us coming to the Ohio River.
You took the words out of my mouth. Dude, I fished an All-American on the Ohio River in 2007 out of Louisville, Kentucky. Now, it's the All-American. It was awesome, whatever. I didn't ever want to go back. I came in the first day, and I'll tell you some of the guys that fished that All-American probably blow your mind. Randall Tharp fished it. Hank Cherry fished it. There was a bunch of big guys that future pros that were fishing that All-American. I came in the first day of the tournament. I had 4 for 5 pounds. Hank looked at me. He said, "You're probably going to be leading this thing." And I looked at him. I said, "You've lost your mind. This place is awful." And he said, "You're probably going to be leading." I was in like 5th place. The guy who won it was locking, running 60 miles one way, caught 5 bass 3 days in a row. You know what his total weight was for 15 bass? 16 pounds. 16 pounds.
I'll tell you what, y'all boys probably don't want to holler at us to come to the Ohio River, because I cut my teeth on the river like it, and I spent plenty of time out of Carrollton, Ashland. Like, I've been
you know it then.
I know the Ohio River, and I don't know if that's something you want to do, because you might get your feelings hurt real quick.
All right, we got a question. Keith Wood, he's a regular viewer of the show, but he's said, "We've heard everyone's opinion on FFS. They want to hear yours."
Man, I'm kind of indifferent about it. Like I get where I know it would benefit me for it to go away. I caught them before forward-facing sonar came out, and like I said, I'd take my old HDS 10 Generation 1 side scan, down scan, and I'd go out there and I'd put the hurt on them instead of having to do the forward-facing stuff. So I know where it would benefit me. Do I think it's going anywhere? No. So like I said, I'm kind of indifferent on it. If they limit it to one transducer, like I heard they might, like, I think they ought to just leave it the same and leave it alone. I'll be honest with you, like, all the backwards and forwards, I don't even think I care about it anymore. I just don't care anymore. They're going to do what they want to do.
Yeah, we'll find out sooner than later, it sounds like. But I'm with you. I'm like you. I kind of wish it would just disappear, but at the same time, I feel like it's probably going to stay.
Yeah. Now, I will say, there is one thing I hate to give them an argument for the forward-facing sonar, because I just shouldn't do that. But because
You ever done anything you shouldn't do?
All the time. But I will say, the one argument you could say is you're going to limit the best 100 anglers in the world to no forward-facing sonar, and the rest of the world can use it. You know what I mean? That's the only argument I have.
Yeah, but in every professional sport, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Golf, that's the way it is.
You're right.
I mean, baseball, that's the way it is.
Bats and all that. Yeah.
It's all that way.
I give you that. So let's get rid of it.
So, because a professional has to have some kind of standard that they're held to. Now, what will make our job harder is when there's 200 local boat tournaments on a lake right before we get there using forward-facing sonar, and we can't. So it'll make it more challenging for us. But hey, I'm up for the challenge. I know Matt would be up for the challenge.
I wouldn't mind going back to some old school bassing, dude. Like, there's a lot of lakes. Like, if we'd have went to Smith Lake without forward-facing sonar, one, you just seen boat docks being caught fish off of. You'd have been shallow largemouth fishing all over. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, if we went to Smith Lake without forward-facing sonar, I'd have put a topwater in my hand and burned up every inch of bank.
You're gonna die. You're gonna die, because the last time I was there with FLW, I made a top 10, and you know what I caught them all on? a 5-inch swim bait.
Really?
And
See, that's what I'm saying.
nobody in the tournament was throwing it, and it was all shallow.
That's what I'm saying.
But that was pre-forward facing sonar.
Yeah.
All right. Who's the best fisherman in the Derby Boy gang?
Well, not this year, but I'd have to say myself.
All right, who this year? Not points aside. Yeah. All right, you can't pick yourself, but the heck with this year. But just overall, who do you feel like between the two Johnston brothers and Fighter, who is the most naturally gifted angler?
Chris is pretty solid, man.
Yeah.
Like through and through every tournament, Chris don't usually have a bomb. Like he may not have your top 10 every time, but Chris is, God, he is always there.
You know why I think that is too? And I agree with you, but
Like,
you know
he
why I
is
think that
always
is?
there.
I think it's because of up here.
Yeah.
Chris is the most level-headed, never gets rattled. And Corey even said this when they used to play hockey together. Chris would be the one that would ignite the fight, but Corey would be the one that would get in the fight. You know, Chris is just always super steady, like always there, always cashing checks, always going to make the classic.
Yep.
And Corey does too.
Corey may have a couple wouldn't call them bombs. He may have a couple 60th, 70th place finishes. And I haven't seen Chris do it too much. Like Chris is like,
that's rare.
Chopping at the block every year, steady.
Super rare. All right, let's. Oh, they want to know when you're bringing the OG on them hat back. What's the OG? Is that just the big ON?
It's a black and white one with the big white letters. If we don't start catching them better, it's going to be really quick.
Real quick.
Oh yeah, really quick.
All right, I've got a bunch. We already answered how he enjoyed the MLF tournament. Gilmaster, if you missed that, you'll be able to watch the show back on YouTube. And y'all know, everybody knows our show goes to all the podcast platforms too. So check it out on iTunes and Spotify. The Matt and Matt Show. Oh, they answered
M&M's.
They answered, the M&M Show. They answered who they think your least favorite rookie is.
Oh yeah, y'all.
Multiple times.
Y'all could be good guessers.
Well, Alan Coe, we just talked about that. They want to know how you enjoy fishing some of the North Carolina lakes, particularly Norman and High Rock. So they're two extremely different lakes.
Yeah, too. So I actually really like High Rock. Like it's got big fish in it. I fished a big fish tournament there. Never been there last spring, and dude, I ain't gonna lie to you. I lost one. I should have won a boat there in that big fish tournament. But I like High Rock. Norman, dude, I like go. I don't mind it, but I don't know, man. I'm not really a fan of Norman. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't think so. I appreciate Norman now because when I fished it when I was in high school and in college, literally you could catch 5 large. Now there wasn't hardly any spots there when I was in high school, like hardly any, and you could catch 5 largemouth that weigh 9 or 10 pounds and smoke everybody in the tournament. You could go out there and catch 40 of them, all largemouth, and it'd be hard to get to 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Now 10 pounds is pretty regularly. So once the spots were added to Norman, people don't realize that it actually became a better fishery. It's got a lot more fish in it. It's got a lot more versatility in it now. It's got a lot more diversity. You can catch them all different ways. But I agree with Matt. And it's not like compared to where he's used to fishing all over the country and where I've fished all over the country, it's definitely not at the top of my list.
Yeah.
But it will round you well as an angler because you have a lot of options there. But yeah, if I had to pick like the shallow, dirty water, High Rock, them fish pull, Yadkin River fish, they're built different. You're not going to get the bites, but you're liable to get you line stretch. Yeah. And Matt hasn't made it down to the Jordan and the Falls and the Harris, but I've told him about that. And I'm sure he'll get down there. Dude, you know what a lot of locals down there don't do that I'm aware of in the springtime?
What's that?
Throw a lot of big glides.
Really?
Yep. And that's a question on here. So everybody knows about your addiction to glide baits.
Yeah.
How and when did that start?
Man, actually it started a long time ago. Like I was throwing big swim baits before, like most people was. I was throwing a big sassy shad on a jig head, like we go striper fishing below Kentucky Dam, and that's what I ended up using. And like one of the originals was a tsunami swim bait. So I've been swim baiting for a long time, and it just kind of grew since then. And let me tell you something, like it's a love-hate relationship. That's part of my problem this year is why I've done so bad in the points. And even Chris had Chris and Corey even set me down. He's like, hey, dude, like, I think part of your problem is the swim baiting. And I agree. Like, this year, part of my problem's been the swim baiting, and I love it, but
that was the other part of this question was how do you fight the urge?
So that's what I've done. The last 2 tournaments, I've had 2 decent tournaments, and like, dude, hate to disappoint y'all, but I took them out of my boat and left them at home. I ain't got a glide bait in my boat right now.
That's how you fight the urge. You don't give yourself the option. So there's a question about FXR, I'm assuming, one of your sponsors. You wear their rain gear, and Chuck Fish wants to know how bulky is the one that has the flotation in it?
It's not too bad. It's like your normal little heavier rain suit.
Like insulated suit?
Yeah, your insulated suit. It's not like one of your lightweight ones, but it's legit, dude. Like, it's a good rain suit. And the thing about FXR, like, they're from up north, and they're used to the cold, wet, rain, snow, and all that stuff. And so, like, I know a lot of guys spend money on rain gear, and it ends up leaking, but you don't have to worry about that with this stuff. Like, it will not leak. Like, it's quality.
This is a good question, and I can't answer this, and I don't think Matt could answer this accurately. But you saw the questions that were asked by to some of us by Bass. You saw me mention your name when they asked me who I didn't want watching my kids.
Oh, yeah.
No offense.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Well, you don't have kids, so I was like, that you know of, right?
Yeah. Oh, I got one. Actually,
oh, you do have one.
Hey, listen, I know I'm going to shock you here.
Wait a minute now.
Listen. All right, world. I know a lot of guys don't know. I got a 17-year-old just graduated high school.
I didn't know this.
That's okay. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know.
Okay.
That's all right, Steve. I heard a similar question asked to Steve Kennedy at the Classic a couple of years ago. They asked him, who is the one angler you wouldn't want dating your daughter? And I mean, he didn't miss a beat. Matt Robertson. I was like, come on, Steve. He's like, ain't no way, dude.
I did say it wasn't, obviously, on social media, but I did say they'd probably have more fun with him than anybody else. Now, on top of that, did you see Seth's answer to how many cigarettes he smokes during a Derby day? Well, that was my question. They don't tell you who asked it. They just ask it. That was my question, and his answer was quite comical because he said if he was like chatterbaiting, he talks, slow. He's like, if I was chatterbaiting or spinnerbaiting or something, or probably 3 or 4. But if I'm scoping or throwing a wacky worm, probably 300 or 400. Yeah. And this guy wants to know who smokes more darts, Seth or Smoke. And honestly, I would love to put them two in a boat together just to see, and we could sit there and just take counts, because it would be a tight race.
So you'll have to have extra insurance for the fire hazard.
That's right. But that'd be a tight race. Getting them two in a boat together, that would just be fun to watch. Maybe Seth will come down and you and I can take on him and Thrift in one of these Thursday night derbies.
He might be down for that.
And y'all come down during turkey season. We might even go shoot a jellyhead. I don't have to tempt you to do that. I don't have to tempt you. You're about like me when it comes to turkeys, I think.
Yeah, I'll just go kill them.
Yeah, you just need to know where they are. You just go kill them. Is there going to be an Onum series of glide baits anytime?
I doubt it, man. Like, probably not.
Who is your bait sponsor?
Pure Fishing, Berkeley.
Okay, Berkeley. It is Berkeley.
Savage Gear.
Okay. So Savage Gear is owned by Pure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember. I do remember now when that buyout took place. That's a good question, Scott Young. He wants to know if Milliken's fish was dead. So there's a video floating around right now, and I don't even know where it is at the moment, but it's been floating around of what appeared to be him culling a dead fish with weight clips on it. Or fin clips on it. And I did see some questions about what are fin clips. Well, fin clips, a lot of our viewers know, but fin clips are little lead clips that you clip on their bottom fins, their 2 bottom fins, to keep the fish upright in a live well when they're caught in deep water. And I even used them like in the summertime and the springtime when I don't have to worry about the fish being full of air where I have to fizz them or anything because they were caught in shallow water. But I do still like keeping, like if I have a big bag, I like to keep those fish upright in the live well. Just keeps them healthier, keeps them swimming better, just takes better care of them all around. But that video, I don't know the facts. It looked bad, but
he asked me about another similar situation earlier. About one of my buddies and a fish being hooked outside the mouth, and And like I told him, like, dude, I can't tell you if that fish was dead. I can tell you with my experience in dead fish that if it wasn't dead, it wasn't in good shape.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you know what? It's not a good look.
Yeah, and I look, until I know the facts, I'll give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But when you see it with your own two eyes in a video like that, and see, here's the problem with videos now. Anybody that's been paying attention to social media in the past 6 months has witnessed some crazy AI stuff going on too. The AI stuff, I mean, I've seen guys like professional NBA players in interviews like you and I are sitting here talking, and there's voices there, but they're saying things that they didn't say.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, right?
You hear
like,
the voiceovers all the time.
yeah,
and
I'm not saying that's the case in this situation. I'm just saying moving forward, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better.
I'll tell you what, if you're a professional fisherman, you better watch your P's and Q's out there, boys.
Yeah. You speaking from experience?
No, I don't give a shit. So, like, you ain't never going to see no video or no evidence about nothing on me. I promise you that.
No, you're a straight shooter.
Yeah.
Thrift and Dudley in a boat would be great. Thrift's ADD to the max, and Dudley has stuff scattered everywhere. Yeah, that would be bad. Sizemore Life want to know Matt and I were just talking about him striking a boat deal with somebody in the near future, but we don't. You don't have anything to say on that yet.
No,
that's things it's stuff's always in the works as anglers. You know, as pro
always
anglers.
working.
Always working. But I don't think nothing's come to fruition. But if it had, I'm sure Matt would be glad to announce it. They want to know if you fished road hiss yet. You've been to Hickory, but have you been on road hiss yet?
No, I've been to Hickory, but I haven't been there. I haven't even heard road hiss.
Road hiss, yeah. So
I haven't even heard of that one.
It's part of It's part of the same system. It's right. Is it below or above Hickory? I can't remember.
I think it's below.
It's a small lake.
Yeah.
Kind of flies under the radar. Used to be a really, really good lake back when Hickory was really, really good. Spots got into Hickory pretty bad. Hickory, so unlike Norman used to be a largemouth dominated fishery that was a really poor largemouth fishery. Now, the other thing that you may or may not know about Norman is it has one of the lowest water qualities in the state.
Yeah.
So that has a lot to do with the fishery as a whole. But road hiss used to be full of gigantic largemouth, and then Hickory was the same way.
Yeah.
When spots get in a place like that, sometimes it goes the other way.
Yeah.
But Norman, spots got in it, actually made it better because it was already pretty piss poor.
Yeah.
But now it's actually improved. Keith Wood said, "Go to Lookout Shoals and you'll hate your life."
I've been on Lookout.
What, did you like it?
No.
Well, there you go.
They said road hiss is above.
Above. Okay, above. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
What's your favorite glide bait? That's a good question.
Dude, like, I'm not saying this because I'm sponsored by them or whatever. Like, technically, I'm not sponsored by them.
Right.
But that 7-inch Savage Gear, like, I'm not, like, it's not one of the great big ones, but it gets bit. Like, it gets bit a lot, and it
It's a good
doesn't
one.
roll bad. Like, and
I don't even know. I'm going to check them out.
Dude, no, it's legit.
And they're
It's
probably
legit.
not very expensive,
No,
Savage Gear
like
stuff.
$24.
Oh, God. Yeah.
$24, bang for the buck, and they bought it.
Is that a 6-7-inch bait?
Yeah, 7-inch.
7-inch, okay.
And it's not like an oversized 7-inch. And like I said, I got 5 or 6 Hinkles. I got a CTM glide. I got you name it, and I just about got it.
You got any? You got some tater stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, I got some Tater Hog stuff, and that's actually one of my favorite ones is the Tater Hog.
Is it the Hogfather Jr.?
No, so you and Corey and some other people like the Hogfather Jr. And I don't even have one, but like I always throw the Hogfather. I got a lake at home. It's my glide bait lake.
The Hogfather's the 8-inch, right?
Yeah, the 8-inch
Yeah.
one. It's
Yeah.
not like it's an 8-inch one, but the way the tail's made, it's not like a Hinkle's a 9-inch, but it's like a big bait.
Yeah.
But the 8-inch is still a big bait, but I like it because whenever you fish it, you can kind of do this pulling action, and I can get it to dive deeper on the pools. And dude, I've cracked them all. I've cracked 28, 29, 30-pound bags back home.
Oh, so we give out a lot of goods on LTF occasionally here and there. One thing that's not being talked about a lot lately, we haven't talked about this on the show, and I feel, is that thunder? Oh, it is thunder. But I feel like this is a perfect opportunity because you're a glide bait specialist. A big deal lately is weighted glide baits using in conjunction with your forward facing sonar. A lot of us have them. That's something that I haven't played with as much as I would have liked to have so far. I'm still kind of experimenting with different glides. I've got some Hogfather Juniors that are weighted where I'm messing around with them. But have you done that a lot? Have you played with some weighted glides where you're fishing them down there 10 to 15 foot now?
Yeah. That's what I was saying about like that Hogfather.
Yep.
Is I could get it to dive, but like
unweighted, the slow sink.
Unweighted ones, like I seen somebody say something about the Boss clutch here. Like Brandon likes it, and I've seen there's a lot of other guys that throw it. Wrapping the lead wire around the hooks. Yeah. Now that's
okay.
I've regularly wrapped lead wire around hooks to get it deeper.
Just to make them sink quicker. So, and that's a good thing. I deal with Tater Hog some here and there, and most of the glides that I throw, he makes.
Yeah.
But he can custom weight them for me too and test them before he sends them.
He makes a fine bait.
Yeah. He makes a pretty one. All right. Have you drank another L8 one? L-81 since the classic stage?
That's the one I did the shoey with. Like I thought it was a beer.
What is an L81? What is that?
So it's a Eastern Kentucky soda. It looks like a beer in a green bottle.
Oh, but it's not a beer.
No, like whenever I walked up on stage at the classic and some dude was holding up a green bottle, and I just thought it was a beer, and I snatched it and I cracked it open up there and I took a drink. I was like, that ain't no beer, and I looked at it and it was an L8. And then I ended up doing the shoey with the L8.
The shoey was with the L8. The picture that I posted on our Facebook page, what was that? What were those that you cracked together and drank? Were they beers?
Liquid Death.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Liquid Death.
so listen, man, like, I don't need any more fines. Let's put it that way, okay?
So if it would have been beer, it would have been automatic fine.
No, well,
right?
let me put it this way. Technically, the way our rules read is we're not allowed to drink alcohol
during tournament hours.
Until we weigh in.
Oh, okay.
So if I drank beer till I weighed in, technically at the classic before I put the fish on the scales, and they asked me they thought I drank a beer too.
Oh, they asked you?
Yeah, well. Yeah,
you should have said,
they was curious
does it matter?
about it. Yeah. And I was like, technically, I put the fish in the basket, so. Like,
you did it after. Oh, you were thinking ahead.
Well, no, just
the
way
beer
it happened.
Anyway.
The way I wasn't even planning on doing it, but daggum Australians night before I told the story, and I didn't even think Mercer'd have me do it on stage. But yeah.
You didn't know that was coming?
No, I really didn't. None of that was planned out. No, and I'm going to tell you, the shoey I did the night before at the bar at 1:30 in the morning, dude, let me tell you, that dude needs to wash his feet. It did have someone else's shoe, and it was the most god-awful.
What'd you think it was going to taste or smell like?
Dude, I have clean feet. Like, my feet don't
but the
stink.
inside of your shoe can't smell good.
No, the inside of my shoes don't stink. Ask my wife. It kills my wife that I don't
I'll take
stink.
her word for it. I ain't smelling
I'm
them.
telling you. Well, here, come here.
No, I'm good. I'll take your word for it. All right. Derby boys, I guess 3 of you.
Yep.
Versus Lee, Caleb, and Logan's house in a wrestling match. Who wins?
Let me tell you something. I don't know.
Don't wrestle Caleb.
Honestly, I don't even think Logan's a factor. Like, I like Logan, but sorry, Logan. You're like an illegitimate factor in this. Purely Lee and Caleb. And let me tell you something. Caleb's great big.
Yeah.
Great big. And one time he threw me off the dock in the water.
I witnessed. I was there when that happened.
So,
no, I might not have been there. I saw y'all wrestling on the dock.
Yeah.
No, maybe I did see that happen. Has this happened more than once?
A couple times.
Yeah, okay. I have witnessed one of them.
So one time he grabbed me with both hands and picked me up out of the water and got me on the dock. Well, one time I was in the water and Caleb used both hands. Caleb's strong. I ain't saying he couldn't. I ain't saying he couldn't do this.
Yeah.
But another time, Lee grabbed me, and I about shit myself. Lee grabbed me one hand, picked me up out of the water, and picked me so high I just stood up flat-footed. Like, dude is unreal strong. Like, Caleb's strong, a lot bigger.
Lee's like deceivingly super strong.
The dude picked me up wet out of the water and with my arm head high with one arm. Like, that's pretty stout. I'm not little. I'm a fatty.
What do we? What can you tell me about this ICAST scuffle that apparently Hackney had to break up?
With who?
Oh, maybe that wasn't you. That must not. have
No,
been
it
you.
wasn't me. I didn't get
Okay,
no,
okay.
I didn't get no ICAST scuffle.
Okay, never mind. Never
No,
mind.
no.
I thought that was you. I must have been wrong. Let's jump. I got a. Gosh, I had another good question here, but it slid right out of my mind, but it'll come back in a minute. When's the next On'em tournament?
Pretty sure it's going to be September 21st on Kentucky Lake.
This year on Kentucky
Yeah.
Lake. Okay.
Yeah.
When will y'all put out an announcement
This
about
week.
that? Oh, this week?
Yeah, it'll be
Oh,
announced
okay.
this week.
God, you getting the juice right here, Mark.
Yeah,
So-
I got everything set up. I'm just waiting on the guy that's going to put it on, double check for me. I'm supposed to know by tomorrow.
Perfect. What started the fur coat? What
Now,
triggered
listen,
that?
dude, like, I like to look good, and, like, people show up to the Classic, and no offense against nobody, but people come from all over the world to see and everything, and a lot of guys come out just waving and everything, and I grew up, I was a WWE fan or WWF or whatever.
It's WWF when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too.
Ultimate
And-
Warrior and that crew.
yeah. WCW, and we used to have wrestling over at my house on the trampoline, and we'd use ketchup as fake blood and all kinds of crap. And I
In the
remember
house? Oh, that's outside.
outside,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
and I got ketchup in my eye one time, and don't do that, buddy. It burns like fire.
Uh-oh.
And but anyway, I thought it was a injustice to just come out there and just waving and everything, and I just felt like, dude, I like to have fun. I like to look good. And I wanted a fur coat for the Night of Champions, and I thought, heck, I'll just wear this
Just
out on
carry it
stage.
over.
Yeah, carry it over and have a good time.
So your first Classic, where you did that, I don't even think I was. What year was that? It wasn't fishing.
18, I
Yeah,
think.
I think that was the year before I
Yeah, it
came
was
over
the
to
year
Bass.
before the.
So a lot of the veterans and stuff, did they think you were just like what was their because you know how guys
your
like
bandanas,
are
skeet
quick to
grease,
judge
yeah.
somebody when they're fresh meat in the in the Wolves Den coming in the Classic, and this guy shows up in a fur coat acting like he's all Billy Bad, you know what? And
Oh, yeah.
what did you get any good feedback from the
Yeah,
anglers?
yeah, I
Bad
got-
feedback?
Some anglers were cool about it, and some anglers were like, "Who the heck's this guy? I think he is," you know. I'll tell you one that stood out that was really cool from day one was Bret Hite.
Yeah.
Like Bret Hite was really cool about it. Like
You're just trying to have a good
yeah,
time.
I was just having a good time, dude. Like I think they know that now.
Yeah. I'd say you got the message across.
Yeah.
What's your favorite snack when you're on the water?
Oh man, like honestly, my favorite snack, I would have to go old school with the Vienna sausage. And I ain't gonna lie, dude, let me tell you about a fat boy moment. Me and my fishing partner Wendell's fishing a night tournament one night,
Okay.
and I hadn't eaten half a day. And he bought one of the 12 packs, and I ate 8 packs of Vienna sausages. I sat there and pounded them things like dude.
Do you like any of the barbecue ones or the jalapeno ones?
Yeah,
You
I
just
like
eat
the
straight?
barbecue ones and all of it, dude. Like,
Okay. Seth, so Anglers of the Corn. This question's from Anglers of the Corn. Said Seth likes to fire you up more than he does Corey. How you feel about that? Is that true? First of all,
No, yeah, Seth is the all-time biggest instigator ever.
he's just like my little brother was growing up.
Yeah.
My little brother would try to instigate stuff between my older brother and I.
Seth deserves some karma. Like he needs he's gotten me into more wrestling matches, more scuffs, and like more crap, and it's his turn.
That reminds me. So you said in a interview with Bass at ICAST that you were 1 in 19.
1 in 19
In wrestling matches.
That being said, I'm always with bigger guys wrestling. but
Yeah, well, that's the only way you get better, right? Like you challenge the best to get better.
Caleb's half though.
Yeah. Okay, so I was going to ask you, of the 19 matches, how many were repeat matches?
Quite a few.
Okay, who have you beat?
Gussie.
Oh, was that a
Gussie,
repeat?
the Canadian snow leopard that can't pounce for nothing.
Sorry, Gussie.
He says I cheap shotted him, but he come after me first, and it was.
Oh,
no
he
cheap
started
shot.
it. So
yeah.
start it. Well, speaking of Canadians, who's your favorite one of the guys that fish the Elite Series?
Oh, probably Coop.
Coop.
I like Coop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Gussie's such a nice dude. So is Coop, though.
Yeah, Coop's nice too.
And so is Chris. And Corey. Corey's
Yeah, they're
Corey's a
all
little
cool.
wilder, but
Yeah.
they're all good dudes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so Coop, got
Yeah.
you. I hear Polinick was like a state champion wrestler.
That's what I hear. I still want to get a hold of Polinick. Like we talked about doing a charity
Different weight
wrestling
class,
match.
obviously.
Yeah, whatever. Like that's what it's like a no-win situation. Like if I beat Polinick,
You're
I
supposed
picked
to,
on the
and if
little
he beats
kid
you,
'cause
then you
I'm
look
bigger.
bad.
Yeah.
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 I
Like,
get it.
I would beat him though, 100%.
Fritz, I didn't even know anything about that. Sizemore Life said, "Have you and Fritz talked things over since he took your spot?" Fritz stole one of your O's.
They got to be talking about Lake Murray's the only place I can be thinking of because we fished right beside each other.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, I ain't got no problem with Fritz. I like the heck out of Fritz.
I don't. So a buddy of mine who lives in Alabama, we stayed with when we went to Smith Lake, sends me a picture the other day on my phone of Fritz sitting on the back of his tailgate selling cantaloupes in Alabama, 2 miles from my buddy's house.
Really?
And I'm like, what is he doing in Alabama selling watermelons and cantaloupes? Well, he's a big pumpkin farmer,
Yeah.
watermelon farmer, and he lives, near High Rock. Well, he said, well, man, he just after he retired from bass, he moved down here.
Really?
And I'm like, really? And he said, yeah, it's something to do with his wife's job.
Yeah.
And so that was my buddy's story. I mean, I haven't talked to David to find out if any of that's true, but it was just really weird. So
David, if you're selling cantaloupes, send me somebody. I love cantaloupes.
you love some cantaloupes?
Golly, man.
Watermelons, God, it's really, really ripping outside
It
right
is
now.
ripping outside.
We got a heavy wind storm, thunderstorm, rainstorm, all kind of stuff. But the show must go on. We got about 7 or 8 minutes. I'm going to keep rolling some questions towards Matt. Don't forget, we do have a trivia question at the end of the show. We got a pretty good one tonight, too. And the first person to answer
Pretty
that
solid.
correctly gets the prize pack from Angler's Choice, our presenting sponsor of the show. How many rolls of toilet paper do you carry on a tournament day?
Toilet paper?
Yeah.
So, dude, I'll be honest with you. Like, y'all seeing the Derby boys, I just now graduated to taking toilet paper. I've used a bunch of different things to wipe with, like bait packs, cardboard.
Packs of bait.
Like, dude, I'm telling you, you name it. Like, I'll just assume it's about to the point where I think I just need to take like a plastic glove with me and just use it and just rinse it off in the water or something. Like,
Okay.
but I have like Chris and Corey and Catherine. They gave me a pack of dude wipes. So
Perfect.
yeah, pretty solid.
Matt A, Scott M, or Scott C in a wrestling match?
Uh,
I'd probably be the easiest because I'm out of shape. Scott, now I'll give you some
Scott
insight.
Martin is in pretty good shape right
He
now.
works out
pal.
every day. He's CrossFit through and through. He's in great shape. But you know what you're saying about Lee Livesey?
Yeah.
That's how Canterbury is.
Are you serious?
You look
He's-
at Canterbury and you don't think of a whole lot till he gets a hold of you.
They got
Ask
that-
McCoy that. And McCoy works out every day.
Really?
But McCoy's had firsthand experience with Canterbury in a wrestling.
Canterbury's got retard strength.
He's got lots of he is deceiving. He will grab
Really?
you and he will hurt you.
Huh.
100%.
Well, I'll have to go with Canterbury then.
Canterbury. You want the most challenging, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I of the three, I'd say Canterbury.
Canterbury, you're gonna get it, pal.
You better sneak up behind him though. You don't want him to come from behind you because you might not get out of his bear hug. Who's your Mount Rushmore of bass fishing? I saw a question similar to this earlier, and we're as anglers we're gonna sit here and say I mean we ain't scared of nobody and we fish. But
No, yeah,
who
you
would
talk-
be like if you had to fish head to head and defeat them? Who would be your Mount Rushmore? Who would be the most satisfying angler to beat? And it doesn't have to be based on their skill level as much
Yeah,
as it
yeah.
does their personality. It can be based on anything. Who would you want to beat in a head-to-head match?
Like I'd
Worse
have-
than anybody.
Like I don't want him now. I'd like no offense, I like probably Van Dam.
Yeah.
I don't want him now. I want him
In his
10
prime.
years ago.
Yeah, in his prime.
Like him come to Kentucky Lake and I see him winning, and I stayed off the lake anytime professional tournaments come, but I would dog beat him.
I dog beat him, he said. Dog beat him. Van Dam has a television show now.
Yeah.
It's the Van Dam Experience. And, man, I think that would be a heck of a show.
You're gonna have to
Olam.
get back into your prime a little bit.
He's still fishing all the time.
I know.
We're
Van Dam?
gonna go ahead and throw this out there because I know you'd both agree. No FFS.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm down.
because you two would be all about that.
Yeah.
And and I know Kevin would agree with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'd pay money to watch that.
Come on, Bandana.
I'll get in your boat and be your cameraman. I probably wouldn't do a good job, but I'll do it. All right, which rookie do you want to wrestle the most? Instead of asking you which rookie do you like the least, we asked his favorite rookie earlier in the show. So we'll just say, which one do you want to wrestle the
God,
most?
I hate to give them any clout or even say their name.
But wait a minute, if you want the biggest challenge, and I'm just basing this off of
probably
sheer
Tyler
size.
Williams, because he's a big boy.
I was going to say Milliken. Milliken's a pretty big dude.
Yeah, I'll take Milliken.
You take
I
Milliken.
would wrestle Milliken.
You wrestle Milliken.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
Grab that hair of his and swing him around.
Next question: better locks, you or Milliken?
Oh, that ain't it. Why don't you even
Why
ask
would
that
you even
question?
ask
Jesus.
that? Oh, give us your ideal schedule for next year. Like, where are some places that we've been or haven't been that you would like to see on the schedule, and what times? Let's throw that in there too. You don't have to give us full
I
schedule.
really didn't mind starting in Texas in the spring this time. Like, I
Okay.
like that. I like not going to Florida in the spring. I wouldn't mind staying away from Florida, period. I wouldn't mind going to Tennessee, Alabama for the first couple. And, Tennessee River. Let's do some, like, cold water, jerk baiting, all that stuff, cranking tournaments.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Like-
shallow crank in cold water is something we haven't seen in a while.
Seen in a while.
And so especially that hadn't played any.
Yep. Something like that. And I know you'd hear so much complaining about it, but I know you're going to hear a lot of complaining about it, but I wouldn't mind going out west for 2 or 3.
Okay.
That's just me though,
Yep. All right, y'all, we got time for a couple more questions, and then we're going to have to wrap it up. We're going to go get some dinner here in a little bit. But, Keith Wood said he's only 5'10", but he'll be at Pinnacle Landing tomorrow with his wrestling gear on. What is wrestling gear, first of all? Because these boys wrestle, they don't wear any gear.
Yes.
What you see is what you got.
I like to wear one of those thong-looking things that stretches from the crotch
And
over
that's
my
it.
shoulders, and that's it.
Hey, that's
So-
what Andre the Giant,
Yeah.
Andre the Giant
Yeah,
wore. Yeah, the
exactly.
one-piece wrestling, old-school wrestling uniforms. Yeah, that was awesome. He said headgear and tights, son.
Well, you're going to need the headgear, Keith. I don't need it.
If would you prefer freshwater fishing or saltwater if money didn't matter?
Dude, I got to tell you something. I used to think I would hate saltwater fishing, and I started going a little bit. And I think after I'm done bass fishing, the saltwater's the deal. It's so fun.
Yeah,
It is so
they're
fun.
a lot better to eat too.
Oh, yeah, a lot better to eat. I like lobster diving. That's one of my favorite things
I haven't
to
done
do.
that, but Scott, Martin's big
Yeah,
on
yeah.
hitting those lobster seasons when they come around,
Dude, it is, you got to go with
and
it.
they kill them.
It's so fun.
I mean, they it's easy too.
Yeah.
Apparently, they get their limits, whatever their limits are, every time
yeah.
they go. So, and those are those spiny
Spiny
lobsters?
lobster.
Okay.
They don't have the claws. They're sweeter than the northern lobster. But
Gotcha.
dude, oh god, yeah. We brought some back from Key West and we froze them in aluminum foil and plastic wrap.
Yep.
And we put them in the mesh old school lunch boxes with with dry ice, and we ran it through took it to the airport and we ran it through there, and there's a new kid working, and it went through there, and the dude's eyes went like this, and he looked at the lady. She's like, "Calm down. I know what it is." He thought it was a bomb, and she was like, "It's lobsters. Lobster season just came in," and I'm like, "It's like, here we go."
Yeah, that's that I could see how that could be a little deceiving looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you answered that question. Pete said, "Would you like to go out west for the tour?"
Yeah.
I'm definitely not against doing that. There's places out west that I would love to see and fish before I retire, especially on a competitive level. But obviously it's a big commitment. For bass, not just for the anglers, but for bass. That's a lot to carry out there. They used to do it all the time. I do think scheduling, television scheduling, people don't realize kind of the behind the scenes stuff with the Fox Sports shows and things like that. They have to, all that has to kind of collide and come together, all the scheduling and stuff.
Yeah.
So the logistics behind doing that, I'm sure are more complicated than we actually know, but I'm sure they can make it work. And obviously if they did, we would all agree that we would want like back to backs. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to go out there and fish one tournament. I'd like to go out there and maybe fish Clear
Gotta do
Lake
two.
and then the Delta
Yep.
and then come back or something
Yeah.
like that. Have you ever fished the U.S. Open?
No, but I've talked to the guy about it, and my dad actually lives in San Diego, so it ain't. I could go
Okay.
out there, and
Yeah.
it ain't too bad of a deal.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
And I've heard great things about that tournament. Everybody loves it. I've never committed to the drive and going to do
Yeah.
it, but I've had a lot of people. You need to go fish.
I
the
would.
US
I would
Open.
like to go fish it.
Yeah, and that's on Mead, isn't it? Isn't it
Yeah.
on Mead? All right, last question. Your favorite? Give us your favorite drink.
Man, honestly, here lately I've been on the tequila kick. I like margarita on the rocks, no salt with Patron. Like
No
I don't-
salt, huh?
No salt. I'm not a salt guy. I don't
What
know how
about you?
y'all-
Like tahine?
What is it?
Tahine?
I don't even know what that is.
Next time you're at a Mexican restaurant and you order margaritas, it's not salty.
Yeah.
Order tahine on the rim.
Really?
Yeah. Try it.
Okay.
You'll thank me
Is
later.
it that spicy salt? You ain't
No, it has hardly. It's more of a lime.
Okay.
Margarita's kind of lime flavor
Yeah, yeah.
anyway. But just try tahine
I
on
don't
the
like
rim.
that cheap margarita mix either. I like a real margarita.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if that makes sense.
No, 100%. Yeah, you want
No
the, you
plastic bottle tequila for me. You,
You
call
want
me
the
bougie or
real
whatever.
agave nectar,
Yeah.
like the the real deal. Sugar. This guy Keith said he likes sugar over salt on the rim. A lot of people do.
Yeah, I don't like the sugar either. I just like straight margarita.
Yep. All right. I tell you what, we'll pull one more question, and because there's been two about Keith Poche and his boat. How do y'all feel about the aluminum boats? Pros and cons.
It ain't for me.
Yeah.
But it ain't for me, and I know there's been some guys talk about the size of Keith Poche's boat in the past, and it let them run whatever you want to run. I don't care if it's a 10-foot John boat, to be honest with you. You're the one that has to deal with 4-footers if it's bigger out there.
You know, my only issue, I don't know if they can hear that thunder, but that's
It's
something crazy
rolling.
out there. My only issue is exactly what you just said. I don't care, and I'm not going to say I'll never be in an aluminum boat, but I don't care what any of those guys say. When they go up on stage after they're soaking wet riding across Champlain or Lake Ontario or Lake Erie, and they're like, man, that whatever, I'm not going to say any brands, did so awesome on them 4-footers out there.
Yeah.
It's not riding like a Ranger or a Triton or a big fiberglass boat. It's just not, and it doesn't take waves like they do. And it's aluminum. It can't, But overall, I do think. And I always said this, like if I didn't fish professionally and I just fished local derbies and rivers and things like that, I probably would have an 18 or 19 foot aluminum boat. Just for, it's easy to pull. A lot of maintenance reasons.
There's some small lakes. Like I'll be honest with you, around here on Norman, you might get beat up a little bit, but other than Norman, you could get by with aluminum boat just fine.
Oh,
on a lot of these
100%. Like
lakes.
High Rock and Lookout Shoals and Moss and Wiley, all those lakes you can get away with it for sure. All right, let's wrap this thing up. We do have a really good trivia question, and then we're gonna go grab some food. We may end up finding a margarita somewhere for Matt, we'll figure that out here in just a minute. Braxton, we'll try to get Matt down to one of the Thursday nighters here soon. I mean, I'm already gonna let him get in the back of, I'll let him get in front of my boat. I don't ever. So when we go, I don't ever get to fish the back. I'm usually running the trolling motor and Thrift getting back there drinking sun drops and smoking his Marlboro Lights, and he's always good for a couple fish because it's Thrift. He can catch him. He can catch him in a puddle. But I have to get up there and run the trolling motor. So this time I'm gonna have you come down. You run the trolling motor, and I'll sit in the back.
I can do that.
Yep, and we'll give Thrift. We'll make sure Thrift gets him a good partner and comes out there. So then we'll have a little trash talking derby out there, and it's a good group of guys out there too. We have a lot of fun. But anyway, let's move on to the trivia question. Again, sponsored by English Choice. The trivia question does revolve around our special guest, Mr. Matt Robertson, tonight. But I need to know. So Matt told me earlier. The girl he married lives here in North Carolina. He spends part of his time here. It's actually in Maiden. I was wrong. I thought it was in Hickory, but it's in Maiden. And then he still spends part of his time at what do you call your place there?
In Kentucky, at the trailer.
At the trailer.
At the trailer.
At the trailer.
Yeah,
at the trailer in Kentucky. All right. So I knew there was kind of a name for it on social media, but you call it the trailer.
Yeah, it's just the trailer.
I need to know. This is the trivia question. I need to know what elite angler's jersey hangs in his master bedroom closet at his trailer. What elite angler's jersey hangs in his master bedroom's closet at his trailer in Kentucky?
He's probably going to be wondering why it's there after this podcast.
I doubt he even watches it. I doubt he watches it. Somebody will tag him
will
in
tell
it. Though.
him.
Yep, somebody. They said fighter. It's not fighter.
No, boys.
It
Come
ain't
on,
Corey.
you can do better than that.
It's not one of his roommates.
I've known him for a long time.
Yeah. It's is it Scott Martin? You don't have Hollywood's jersey roll?
I'll give you all a clue. I knew him before he qualified for the elites. He was 18 and I was 21.
Okay. Well, that narrows it down pretty good. That
We
definitely
actually-
means it's not Roland Clun or Hackney.
We actually met at Lake Wiley in a TBF national championship.
Really? What year was that?
It was. I was 20. I had to be 21. So
You know who I
was-
think won that one? Did Brian? He used to fish FLW. Oh, I got it. I think I got it. Jerry Houston. You see it?
Yep.
Is that the first one on
Yep.
y'all's feed?
Jerry's got it.
It was Jerry. I see Anthony got it too, but Anthony, you came in after Jerry.
Yeah.
It is Brandon Polinick's jersey. So you want to explain why that is?
Yeah, you know, sometimes laying there late at night with my wife and I can't get her fired up, so I go put the BMP lingerie set on. And it's guaranteed.
With whitey tighties and the BMP jersey.
So if any of you guys are having trouble with the wives in the bedroom, go on BMP's website, buy you a jersey, go to Walmart, get you a set of Fruit of the Loom whitey tighties, and man, walk out in that and you're good to go.
Is it one size fits all? Because, you know, Brandon's a pretty small guy, so you and his
No.
jersey would be pretty snug.
Yeah, like it's snug. You can see my six-pack in it.
Perfect. Now, are you going birthday suit or whitey tighties with the jersey?
Whitey tighties with the jersey.
Okay, that's the key. Whitey tighties. All right, y'all. We Jerry Houston, send us a message on our Facebook page with your shipping information, and we'll get that prize pack from Angler's Choice out to you ASAP. But he said that he's Slick Johnson. No Slick Johnson posters or jerseys in your. I never seen Slick's jersey, but I'm sure there's probably a poster out there, something you can get a Slick. All right, Matt, appreciate you joining us,
Yeah, I
man.
appreciate you having me. It's fun, guys.
Yeah, this was a good time. We had a lot of fun. I hate Thrift missed it. Thrift will never see it. He never watches our show either. Even when he's not here, he never watches it. Yeah, so
I'll have to come back whenever Thrift's here. I'll
Yes.
give him a hard time.
I want to get you two together. As a matter of fact, I'll sit over and run the deal. Let you and
Yeah.
Thrift have some full blown conversation. Y'all can talk about I don't know.
Thrift won't even say hi to me.
When have you ever run into him?
I don't know. Hey,
You know why?
he kind of cold shoulders me.
He's scared of you.
He is scared of me.
Yeah.
I promise you.
He's scared of you, 100%. You probably give him nightmares knowing him.
Yeah. Or he's dreaming of me.
Yeah, he's dreaming of you.
He's
That's what
dreaming
it
of me
is.
for sure.
That's what it is. All right, y'all. We appreciate everybody tuning in. When we can't go fishing, we'll sit right here on Tuesdays and talk fish. We'll see y'all next time.